Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you, and welcome back once again to these free Shiksha daily IELTS classes. So, guys, before actually beginning with the today's class, we are actually going to focus on the writing module today. And before we actually begin with today's class, I would like to remind all of you, especially to the ones who are watching us live for the first time today. So, first of all, welcome all of you who are watching us live. Good afternoon. So, somebody has commented, Aryan, good afternoon, ma'am. A very good afternoon to you, Aryan, as well. So, yes, guys, we have this channel with the same name, Shiksha Study Abroad YouTube channel. So, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel because we have lots of online free material for you and you can gain a lot of knowledge out of it. And of course, we have the registration link for you down just in the description below this video right now, and you just have to click on it. Registration process is absolutely for free. You do not have to pay a single penny, and there are several perks which you can avail after you register with us, and few of them I'll just count it right now in front of you. So first perk or first advantage of getting registered with us for free is that you can download the free sample papers which we have on the landing page of ours. And of course, you will also get in touch with the counseling team. So this counseling team counsels you for free. Again, we do not take a single penny out of you, even in the counseling sessions. So the counselors will help you whatever inquiry or doubt you have regarding the IELTS, TOEFL, PT, any exam you want to know about, GRE, GMAT, all of that. So Aryan says done. That means he's already a registered member with us. That's great. So thank you so much for registering and subscribing to our YouTube channel. So this was just a small piece of information which I wanted to share with you, because on our YouTube channel you will find lots of free videos from where you can actually take help while preparing for your IELTS classes, right? So yes, apart from this, we have the writing module for our class today. So we are basically going to focus on the academic task 1. So academic task 1, you already must be knowing that the IELTS exam in total is divided into two categories, that is academic and general training. So today we are going to focus on the academic section. So in case you are looking for the general training, letter writing, that one, then definitely we'll also practice it tomorrow. We are going to come up with a fresh new class tomorrow in the form of a letter writing class. But today we are going to focus on the academic task 1, and that is your report writing. Okay. So guys, without any further delay, I would like to start with today's class. So I am going to show you first of all the key information which you actually need for your task 1. That means what do you actually need to know about the writing task 1. So you are required to write at least minimum of 150 words. Okay, that is the bare minimum amount of words or count of words, you can call them, which you need to write for getting a successful band. So if you write less than 150 words, and your bands will be effective negatively. Okay, if they will be affected negatively. Second is you have to finish your paper or finish your task 1 of writing task in IELTS exam within 20 minutes. So you should plan and write your task 1 within 20 minutes. You should use a formal style of writing. So yes, if you are looking for an informal language, please do not go with the informal language. First of all, it's a big no. Always stick to the formal language. Okay. And task 1 contributes half as many marks to your score as task 2. Always remember that it is equally divided. In fact, it is 33% of your total writing task, and the remaining percentage goes for your task 2. Although we know that task 2 has more weightage in your writing paper, but of course task 1 has equal, importance. Now, guys, if you have any question or query related to the whole video or the whole class, please do not comment in between. I will give you some time in the end. Either you can, put your questions in the end, and I will take them one by one and answer them. Uh, but yes, if you do not have any question, maybe you want to rewatch the video and come back here again on this YouTube channel of ours, and then you want to comment or ask any doubts, you are welcome to do that. So in any point of time, you can comment down your queries and your questions, and all your questions and queries will be answered by me here live in the class. So yes, that will be done in the end of the session. So keep your questions for the end. Coming back to the slide, now we will go through the test format because you have a separate marking, you have separate percentage of marking, scores for your format and structure. So definitely you have to follow a certain format which is given to you here. So please follow that if you want to gain a higher band in your task 1 of IELTS writing. So yes, coming back to the slide, paragraph 1, which is your introduction. Of course, whenever we start report writing or any essay writing kind of a task, definitely we need to present an introduction first. So in introduction, what do you write? Introduce the topic of the graph, table, etc. What is being measured? What is the unit of measurement? Are there times and dates that need to be mentioned? So these are all of the questions which should come in your mind as soon as you see your question of task 1 in your paper. So do not interpret any of the data. Do not compare any of the data. Instead, it can be useful to complete this sentence. This graph shows. So this is how you can actually start with your task 1 of IELTS writing. Now, if we talk about the overview paragraph, let me give you a gist about it, guys. That overview is one of the important paragraphs. In fact, I would say that it is the most important, most crucial paragraph in your writing task 1, okay, in report writing, because this is the first paragraph which actually the examiner goes through and he comes to know whether you have written it well or not. So overview should be your best paragraph. Now what do you do in overview? Write a sentence or two that describes the main features of the graph, chart or table. Then mention the highest points and the lowest points. If there are any other interesting features that you would like to explain later, mention them here too. So do not explain why these points are interesting. Do not explain why one point is high or why one point is low. Don't interpret the data. In fact, you have some sample sentences which you can actually use. In fact, I'm going to give you a lot of sample and examples of the sentences, how you can actually make up your structures of sentences and write it down in your paper. So I have few phrases already ready for you, and two of the examples are here right in front of you. First is the most interesting trend was, and then you can continue with the requirement of the question. This is how you can actually start with your sentence. The next is numbers and units. So this is how you actually have to write, and you will notice that it is quite formal, right? So this is the kind of language which you have to follow. Now, what comes in paragraph 3? That is your body paragraph 1. This is the main body paragraph 1, which is your paragraph 3. First paragraph was introduction, second was overview, and the third paragraph is your main body paragraph. So what do you do? Pick up one of the main features that you mentioned in the first paragraph, that is your introduction. Now you can explain this feature in detail. So that means you can do this in 3 to 5 sentences. You can give lots of, lots of comparisons. You can compare one data with another. You can give the figures. You can give the additional figure. That means adding two numbers and then giving a figure, in total. Or maybe you can give a number by subtracting or deducting from one number to the other. You can mention both the ways. Mention all the numbers, mention the measurements that are relevant to this feature, and this might feel like you are simply copying down the data that you see in the chart or table, but that's okay. That is exactly what you have to do in writing task 1. That means whatever you see in front of you in the graph, chart, table, whatever data has been given to you, you have to write it in words. You have to mention the figures, that means the numbers, the numericals, and of course you have to give the units, okay, related to them. So you can also compare the features here and look for the opposites, look for the contrasting data points as they are easiest to describe. So pick up those features which you can describe very easily. Now comes your paragraph 4. So sometimes candidates, they only go with 3 paragraphs. That is also one of the structures which you can follow. You can just combine the whole main data, main body data in one, or either you can divide 2 main body paragraphs. So that will become your paragraph 3 and 4. So just like in the previous paragraph, all you have to do now is to describe the main feature, follow the same method as above. When done, you do not have to write a conclusion. So always remember, in report writing, you do not write a conclusion. You just give the conclusion in your essay writing. Now, assessment and marking criteria. Again, guys, this is very, very crucial for an IELTS candidate to know that how would your writing be marked. Okay, it's very important. So not just the examiner, but the candidate also needs to know that so that you can prepare accordingly for your writing task. So as with all the parts of the IELTS exam, task 1 is marked according to 4 criteria. That is that there are 4 parameters on the basis of which your writing task 1 is marked. So what are those 4 parameters? Let's see. Now, first is task achievement. So, what does that mean? That means whether you have written your task or whether you have given the response to the question appropriately or not. Okay. Then comes your cohesion and coherence. So the word cohesion basically means the organization of your data or the organization of your paragraphs, your overview, whether you have written or given the units in the introduction or not, what is the measurement unit, what is the graph talking about, all of that comes under cohesion. That means your organization skills. Whereas your coherence means whether your task is logically consistent or not. That means whether it's making a point or not, whether it's deviating or not, right? That means, of course, you do not have to deviate from the point. So it means that coherence means that whether it is logically, flowing with the data or not. So that is what it means. That means the ability to present a well-structured essay. So I have just given the meanings of both the words, cohesion and coherence. Now, what is lexical resource? Of course, lexical resource means vocabulary. What kind of words, what kind of grammatical structures, sorry, not grammatical structures, but what kind of phrases, what kind of sentences are you using? All of that comes under your vocabulary. If we talk about the last parameter, that is your grammatical range and accuracy. So that means whether you are able to use the grammar correctly and to use a range of grammar forms. That means whether you're writing your answer just in simple sentences or whether you are actually, making some complex sentences as well, and then whether you're providing the active passive voice, whether you are using the tenses like present and past perfect tense, all of that. So that comes under the structured, well structured grammatical task 1. So each carries 25% of the marks. That means each of these 4 parameters on the basis of which your writing is marked, each consists of 25% of the total writing task 1. Now there are certain types of report writing. So you can see the first one is bar graph. This is very common. You will see lots of bar graphs as your sample questions as well, from where you can practice. And we also have lots of sample papers on our landing page. So please go and download them from where you can actually practice a lot for your writing task. We have also provided you with the format of task 1 and task 2 in all the sample papers. So you can just go and check them out from our landing page. So guys, this is one of the first report writings which I want all of you to see. So this is how a bar graph will look like. Right now it is horizontal. It can be vertical as well. So this is known as a bar graph, and a question will be given to you, and in every question, under every question there will be a line mentioned which will say summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay. Now the second kind of report is line graphs. So this is how a line graph would look like. Basically just like a bar graph, but instead of bars there will be lines. Okay. Then we have pie charts. So this is how a pie chart would look like, a circle and divided into different divisions. For example, in 2003 and 2013, what happened? What were the changes? You can compare that books were 19%, and whereas books in 2013, they became 23%, 22%. All of this can be a part of your comparison when you are actually writing an answer. If we talk about diagrams, then diagrams can be in any form. This is kind of a flow chart here. So you can see that the information is flowing downward, then diagonally as well, and maybe sometimes upwards as well. For example, here in rejection, right? So it's all flowing in terms of data. So this is a kind of flowchart diagram. So a diagram can be in any form. Then we have a process diagram. So in process diagram, basically a process or basically a method will be given to you related to anything. So for example, we have here a diagram below shows the life cycle of a salmon. Salmon is a fish, right? From egg to adult fish. So this is basically a process which has been given from stage 1 till stage whatever, the last stage. So yes, in between whatever stages are there, you have to explain them in detail by understanding the diagram. Of course, right now it's too clumsy here because I just wanted to show you a sample question. I'm sure it is understood by looking at the diagram. You can understand that this is how a process diagram would look like. But yes, of course, in the paper, in your exam, the diagram would be more clear. So don't worry about that. Now we have tables. So tables is also one of the kinds of report writings which you get in your paper. You might encounter them, and it's quite easy because there are lots of numbers. You just have to pick up the few important ones and then compare. Okay. Next, we have multiple graphs. So what does multiple graph mean? Sometimes candidates, they get confused by looking at two diagrams together. Nothing to worry about because you just have to pick up few information from here, from the first, and few information from the second diagram, and then you have to compare both of them. So here you can make two main body paragraphs. So first main body can consist of the bar graph information, and the second paragraph can include the information from the pie chart. This is how you can actually make a comparison and give a very beautiful answer to your writing task 1. Now, if we talk about maps and plans, then definitely there will be two maps given to you from where you will have to make the comparisons. That means what were the things which were there in 1995, for example, taking this map into consideration. So in 1995, what were the things which were there in the map, and what is the scenario with the present one? So of course, there have been certain changes you can see in terms of housing, in terms of restaurant. So shops have converted into a restaurant. Then the hotel also has a car park now, right? Cafe is still there where it was, and fish market has turned into apartments, right? And there is a fishing port as well. There was a fishing port, but now there is no port. So of course, there have been certain changes in the maps. This is how you will gradually proceed in your answer. So you will pick up few important keywords and key striking features. Always try to take the important ones, because otherwise you will end up comparing each and everything, and that is also not the requirement of the question. Task 1 is basically given to you so that the examiner can see how well have you understood the diagram. So the more you understand the diagram fully, of course, you will pick up the main highlighting features and not everything, the main contrasting features, right? So now there is a certain strategy which you need to follow. So I will just be reading out the bold highlighted sentences because we have discussed these things before also in my previous videos. So of course you can come back to this video and rewatch it again, and then maybe you would like to read it in detail by pausing the video. But right now let me just give you a brief of it by reading quickly the bolded lines. So understand how the test is marked. Of course, now we know the pattern and the marking scheme. Paraphrase the question. Of course, if you are not paraphrasing, if you are repeating the words from the question, your bands will be cut. Please let me tell you that very, very clearly. You need to change the words, not the meaning of the word, but the meaning would remain the same, but you need to use the synonyms. For example, if I take the word country and if I take the word nation, both mean the same, right? Country and nation. Both mean the same, but the words are different. So this is how you actually have to paraphrase, especially in your introduction paragraph, because that is the first paragraph. Of course, in overview and main body, the same thing applies. Write the overview. Why this is a strategy to gain better bands? Because I have seen many candidates of mine not writing the overview at all. They just write the introduction and then they directly come to the main comparison paragraph. That is wrong. That is a completely wrong approach to this task 1 writing. Why? Because as I have told you before as well, just in the starting of the PPT, that overview paragraph is the most important paragraph of your writing task 1. Then you have to support the main features. That means you have to support with the data, with the information which is given in the form of numbers. Please do not forget to write the numbers wherever possible. In overview paragraph, you do not write the numbers at all. Please be aware of that as well. And also in main comparison paragraphs, give the units. Okay, numbers and units are very important. Check your work, of course. Keep some time in the end to revise your work, because you might find a spelling mistake or something like that, and you will want to correct it, right? Because spellings, the marks are cut for spelling mistakes as well. Now, how to write an overview. I have specially designed a few slides just on this, just on overview, because it is the most important paragraph. So let me read out to you very, very quickly how do you do it, okay, and what do you do in this paragraph. So the overview paragraph is probably the most important paragraph in the whole essay. Okay, essay is the wrong word. In fact, I'll just change it. My bad. The whole task one, we can say it as that. So in fact, as we will see later in this post, it is very difficult to score 7 or above without a good one. That means if you are looking for a 7 and above band in your writing task, especially in your writing task 1, then definitely you need to provide a very good overview which will impress the examiner. So an overview is simply a summary of the main or the most important points in a graph, chart, process or map, and it is normally 2 to 3 sentences long and should be the second paragraph you write in your essay. As we will see below, it also influences what you write in the rest of your task 1. What does the examiner want? Now let me tell you that. An overview is one of the first things that an examiner looks for, because it shows them that you can identify the most important information from the graph or chart and clearly identify overall trends and comparisons. If we look at the official marking scheme, then we can see the word overview is mentioned 3 times. So if we read here band 5, band 6 and band 7 answer, the examiner has written no clear overview. In band 6, he has written presents an overview with information appropriately. For 7, he has written presents a clear overview of main trends, differences or stages. So you can now feel the difference, that what is the difference between band 5, how you are given marks according to your overview paragraph in band 5, in band 6 and band 7. So you need to provide a very clear overview if you need this band 7, right? Now, if we talk about what is an overview altogether, then to understand this, we must look at the question. The question for academic task 1 is always the same. That means this line is present always in every task 1 question, that I said earlier as well. So we therefore need to provide a short summary of the main features. So you do this in the overview paragraph by picking out 3 to 4 most significant things that you can see and writing them in general terms. By general, it means that you do not support anything you see with the data from the graph or chart. Write about what you can see visually. This is very important tip. How do I select the correct features? That means the main features. How do you do that? To understand this, we have to think about the different types of graphs and charts we might see. So there are generally 2 different kinds of charts or graphs, that is dynamic and static. So dynamic charts show data over time and static charts show data at just one point in time. So this will affect the type of data we select. When we are looking at dynamic charts, we should be looking out for what does the data do from the starting to finish, from start to finish. Do they generally go up or down, or do they fluctuate? Any significant difference from the general trend, overall increase or decrease, peaks and lows. When we look at static graphs, we should be looking for what are the highest, lowest values, what are the most noticeable differences, any similarities or any significant exceptions. So these are few of the points which you should look out for. Is there any special grammar? Of course, you should try and make a complex sentence by making a subordinate clause. So of course, as I said, if you're just writing simple sentences, you will get simple bands. Simple as that, right? But if you're providing a good grammatical, complex, structured sentences, then definitely you will get a better band. How does an overview fit into the rest of my essay? You can see here, I have told you, but again, let's revise quickly. Paragraph 1 is paraphrase the sentence, that is your introduction. Paragraph 2 is your overview. Paragraph 3 and 4 are the details or the main comparisons. So, should I write a conclusion? No, conclusions are really a summary of what you have written, and this is a report writing, it's not an essay, so you do not need to provide any conclusion. So, guys, now comes the time of clearing your doubts. That means you can start asking your questions on the comment section and I will answer them one by one. So Aryan is asking, his first question is, in which tense format we need to write? So Aryan, just understand this, that the question can be in any tense form. That means they might give you something from the past. So of course you're going to use a past tense. If the scenario is related to the present, of course, go for the present tense. And if something is being talked about for future, okay, they might give you 2050 and a 2010 chart. So 2010 is your past and 2050 is your future. So you will use future tense. But always remember, apart from these three main basic tenses, please try to use, if you want a good band, definitely examiners are looking for, perfect tenses. Perfect tenses are those tenses which have has, have, and had. So present perfect tense would have has and have, and of course past perfect tense would have had. So these are the three words, has, of, had, which you need to use for getting a better band. I hope that answers your question. Any other doubt? And guys, if I'm not able to clear your doubt or if I'm not able to answer all the questions here live, don't worry about it because we get back to our candidates very soon. So even if you have any question later on, you're welcome to put your queries on the comment section. And also please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, that is with the same name, Shiksha Study Abroad, as I told you. And please do not forget to register with us for free because you can download the sample papers, you can get free counseling sessions, and you can also avail, the benefit of joining classes via the IELTS calendar, which we have prepared for you on our landing page. So these are three things which you can actually avail if you, register with us for free. All right, guys. So I thank you all for watching us live and attending this class for today. So today we focused on writing task 1, academic section, that is your report writing. And tomorrow we are going to come up with a fresh new topic, and most probably the second kind of a category, that is your general training. So tomorrow we are going to talk about task 1 for general training students, that is your letter writing. So I am going to give you the details of all the three letters, how do you actually write it, what is the format of writing. So if you are a general training student, definitely that class would be for you because today's class was focused on the academic task 1. So yes guys, that is all from my side. And okay, Aryan is saying, okay, ma'am, thanks, ma'am. I need some sample of writing task 1. Of course. So, Aryan, as you said that you have been registered with us, I'm guessing that I'm just assuming that you said that. But if you haven't, then please register with the help of link which is given below. And of course, let me just, you know, put down the sample question link right here, so that it will help you. Yeah, so here is the link. I'm just putting it down on the comment section so that it becomes easy for you. So the link which I'm going to paste right now on the comment section, that is the link from where you can actually download all the sample papers from our site. So Aryan, here is the link which I have just copy pasted on the comment section. Please click on it and it will directly take you to our landing page where we have all the sample papers for all the 4 modules. Not just writing, but we have the sample papers for reading, listening, and speaking as well. So I'm sure that will help you. And thank you so much, guys, again for watching us live. I shall see you tomorrow at the same time, 5 to 6 p.m. Till then, have a very nice day, whichever, whatever day is left for all of you. So have a great day ahead. And of course, good